What's up? Hey lovers and others, I'm Shakara. It's the top of the year. It's time again to take inventory on what we need to do this year to make sure that our 2019 looks significantly different in all the better ways than 2018. So today's video is actually a collab. These are 12 tips to have a boss ass 2019. Let's get it. So today's collab is with my girl Spirit. I'm doing 6, she's doing 6. Together that's 12 tips. Make sure you check out her channel, especially those of you with locks, especially those of you working on self-maintenance, self-love, self-improvement, all those good things. She has beautiful, infectious energy and you'll love her like I love her. So make sure you check out her YouTube and her Instagram. I will link them right below here and in the description box. So I like to start the year with a bit of a list to make sure that I'm on track, that I can always come back to if I'm feeling a little and uninspired and all that sort of thing. I can come back to it, look at what I said I'm going to be doing this year, how I said I'm going to be handling things differently. And these are just great all around tips for just life in general and just how to boss up on yourself, how to boss up on your year, get your discipline together, get your habits better so that you can make sure your year looks drastically different than it did the year before. And that's even if you had a great 2018. I had a beautiful 2018, but 2019 should be even better, right? Because we're always getting better. So let's jump right into it. Tip number 1, have a morning routine. Having a morning routine is so critical in starting your day, especially those of you who like to get up late, especially those of you who kind of wander aimlessly throughout your day. You kind of know what targets you have to hit throughout the day, but the time in between kind of just, you do whatever, it goes to the wayside, it gets wasted, and the weekend comes around and you wonder why you didn't get as much accomplished as you want to. So much of why your day looks the way it does probably lies in your morning routine or lack thereof. I've always had somewhat of a morning routine, but I mean like an actual like ritualized morning, doing the same thing every morning, pretty much in the same order with the same intention. So I changed my morning routine so that I would have time in the morning to center myself, to get myself together, to set an intention for my day, to set the tone for my day and like my mood, and it just changed everything. So I'll do a whole video on my morning routine, but if you need ideas for them, like Google is your friend. Just literally look up morning routine ideas, how to have a morning routine, how to wake up earlier. There's so many tips everywhere, especially in terms of bossing up. Like, there's few people who are really on their game who don't have a specific morning routine or who haven't learned how to get up earlier. And everyone doesn't have to get up at 4 a.m. I don't get up at 4 a.m. But get up early, like get up earlier than you would. You say you don't have time for meditation. You say you don't have time to just sit in silence. You say you don't have time to stretch, to work out, to whatever it is, to strategize. Take some of that from out of your sleep and you'll see it changes your entire day, makes you more productive, more aware of the time that you're spending on things, and you probably will have a chunk of time at the end of the day that you didn't think was there, all because you changed your morning routine. It will change the course of your day, and you changing every day of every week quickly starts to change your life. Trust me. Tip number 2, share. And I'm not talking about sharing your last outing on Instagram. I'm talking about share the things that you learn, share the things that you know, share the things you've been through, share reflections that you have. Just share with other people, talk with other people. If social media is not your thing, do it in person. Start a blog if you want to. Find ways to get your ideas out so that they're not just swirling in your head, but more importantly, so that they help other people. So especially in terms of bossing up in 2019, sharing is what's going to help people connect with you, for people to understand that you're just like them, for people to understand that you've been through something that they've been through, or have something to offer them that's going to help them on their journey and make them better and help them get to where they're going quicker, or just make them have to struggle a little less, right? Because we want everyone coming behind us or walking with us to have to struggle a little bit less. That's the goal for each generation. A little less struggle in certain areas. This next one is a big one. Tip number 3, limit social media. Good Lord, especially because almost every social media platform introduced so many new features to keep us on there even longer, because that's what it's designed to do. It's so critical that you limit your time or use your time wisely or use your time more purposefully on social media, because you're consuming so much and you're consuming things by surprise. And beyond that, social media can just be such a time waster for people who are trying to get shit done, okay? If you don't care how your year goes, cool. Spend all the time you want to on social media. The others of you here who are trying to boss up on this year and who are trying to make 2019 your most disciplined, self-loving, most money you ever made, best trips you've ever been on. Even if you can just take this one step, first step, please don't let social media be the first thing you see in the morning. Your subconscious is so fragile in the morning, like especially within those first 15 minutes or so after waking up, but even like within that first hour of waking up, your subconscious is like a sponge. In the morning, you want to be purposeful about how you enter your day, and you want to be in control of the things that you're consuming. Please, at least within that first hour. And then check social. It's not going anywhere. Like, you didn't miss that much that you can't wait an hour or two or few before you hop on social media. Personally, I like to take several hours after waking up before I allow myself to check any notifications about anything. I kind of explained this in my Glow Up for 2018 video. Am I going to remember this verbatim? Let's see if I can remember this science fact. So when you check social media, you get a rush of adrenaline because you have all this new information that you're seeing, information that you haven't. So you check social media and you see. So you check social media and you receive a rush of new information. That new information creates a rush of dopamine to the brain, and that dopamine makes you feel good. The promise of new information is what compels you to seek out another dopamine rush by checking social media again. Coupled with the fact that throwing likes at you also gives you a rush of dopamine. That dopamine is what you're chasing when you're coming back to social media, seeing if you got more likes, seeing if you got more views, seeing if you got more follows, watching other people live their life. Somewhere in there, it starts to F with your psyche, especially the way social media is set up. We're not seeing real bodies all the time. We're not seeing real faces, real skin, real hardships, real struggles. We're not seeing a lot of things because it's all... Here's the parts I want to show you of my life because they're in complete control of how you view them. Even consuming gossip or looking at comments, not just your comments, other people's comments, taking in people's point of view, taking in new perspectives and not giving yourself enough time to really decipher it and see if that's really how you feel about something. Like all of those sorts of things. Social media is such a clusterfuck of stuff that hits you by surprise. Let's start to break our social media addiction, followed by let's start breaking our phone addiction as a whole. Whew. Another important boss babe tip. Well, another important bossing up tip for this year and every year. Learning to put yourself first in all things. So I wanted to say this, especially in this video, because especially talking to people who are like entrepreneurs, aspiring to start something, people who are, you know, the grind of managing all of this, like for all of us, learning to put myself first was hard, especially as a business owner, because, you know, you're always taught the customer comes first. The customer comes first. You do everything for your customer. Okay, that is very true-ish. That works in a business where there are lots of people who can manage different parts of everything, and all of the weight's not on one single person. Now, when it's just you or it's just very few of you managing a lot of moving parts of something, that can't come before you. So I say this because I used to be the type of person who I would work weekends because I felt like my customers probably felt like, oh, well, girl, you just work from home. You got a small business. Like, why can't you answer our emails on the weekend? But just like a job, you have to have set hours where you ain't fucking with work. Okay? You have to know when to turn off, when you need time for yourself, and carving out that time for yourself on a consistent, scheduled, regular basis, and carving out time for other things that you want to do, other things that you love, other people you love. Nothing should come before you, and it should never be you sacrificing your spiritual, mental, or physical well-being because you're trying to keep your customers happy and keep your business afloat. So bossing up tip number 5. Number 5, get clear about your spiritual practice. And what I mean by that is get clear about how you reboot, reset, recharge, pour into yourself, make time for silence, make time to replenish all of the things that learning how to do this, because most of us are learning in all the ways that we can. You just have to learn by doing it. All of the things that this can take from you, how are you on a consistent basis repouring back into yourself and recharging yourself and replenishing all of that to an even higher level so that you can go even a little harder in the next cycle? So get clear about what that is so you can make sure you're doing it all the time. It can be as simple as putting intention behind things that you're already doing, not necessarily like having to name what your spirituality is or pick a religion or any of that. I'm not saying anything like that. What I'm saying is being intentional. So what do you intentionally do to recharge? Like, can you put intention behind things you're already doing? The way you wash your face, the way you have your night routine, can that become a little more ritualized? Can it be more than you just brushing your teeth? Can you be brushing the negativity out of the things that you say? Can you get in the shower with the intention to wash off the bullshit of your day and watch it go down the drain? Can you get in the shower with the intention to let something positive pour back into you through the energy that's being transmitted through the water? Like, just little changes in your life to make sure that you are constantly pouring into yourself so that you have the wherewithal to sustain what it takes to go on the journey of creating something in this world that other people can benefit from. All right, dun, da, da, da. Last but not least, I say last but not least, bossing up tip number 6, collaborate. And that is one I'm definitely working on this year for sure, is collaborating more, putting yourself out there, getting out of your comfort zone, making initial contact with someone who you want to work with. Stop waiting on people to contact you and seek you out and hoping they find you, but collaborate across. There are all sorts of people to be able to find people within your region, within, a distance that you're willing to travel to collaborate with, to do things with. Collaborate over the internet. This video is a collaboration. You know what I mean? Collaborating helps us go further. You need to put yourself in spaces where people can teach you and you can teach them, where you can learn from each other, where you can learn different facets of what it is that you're trying to do, where you can be around people who are on varying levels of what it is that you're trying to do, so that they're either helping you or you're helping them, or it's a mutual exchange. Just collaborate. Collaborating helps us go further. It's everybody working together for one single idea and for one greater good and for one whole that's going to make some sort of change that everyone's seeking together. To collaborate more in 2019, especially if you're trying to boss up. All right, guys, so we've given you 12 tips to boss up in 2019. Make this year the best year that we've seen yet. So make sure you check out Spirit. Again, I'll link her information right here so you can check out both of her Instagram pages as well as her YouTube channel. So make sure you check her out. She's wonderful, and she has your other 6 tips. And we wanted to do this collaboration to help other people like us who are just trying to figure it out, trying to figure this shit out. So that's all we have for you today, guys. I'll see you very soon in the next one. See if you have other bossing up tips. Make sure you leave them down in the comments. And I'll see you next time. Peace. Hurricane, though you can call it slurricane. Enjoy the rest of your day or night whenever you watch this. And I'm going to go edit now. Fun. Hurricane.